Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Butterfly Effect podcast. I'm Jack and I'm here as always with Liam.
Hello.
In today's episode, I wouldn't really describe it as a theory because there's no hard evidence for it to any back my ideas up. But it's more of a wouldn't it be cool if this happened sort of video. So this comes off the back of an Insta story post that Supermassive put out recently. And it was these choices that come up that said about a glitch in the Matrix and a simulator, whether you believe reality could be a simulation. So when I first saw this, my mind went straight to an iconic horror movie. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Cabin in the Woods. And if you haven't seen this film, I'd probably suggest that you hit the pause button now, maybe go watch it and then come back, because I'm going to start to go into some spoiler territory here. But essentially, you think it's this classic teen horror slasher, and at the end there's this sort of big twist where it turns out that where the teenagers are, it's like this almost arena. It's this play box for these tech guys to throw various monsters and goons and all these sort of things at the characters, and it makes for a really good twist actually. So my first impressions were thinking, are they gonna perhaps do the same thing here? Because one of the things I was thinking is, like, the game's called the Quarry, and in all of the analysis that I've thought so far is that I've not actually really thought about, you know, the location of the, you know, what the quarry is, you know, what it entails. Obviously it's called Hackett's Quarry, but I don't know, it might be worthy to sort of note that perhaps an end game scenario could be that they maybe go underground, maybe it's in like an abandoned quarry. You open these doors and then suddenly you're in this massive tech room with all these computers, all these sort of guys in lab coats and stuff. And it's very much like the Cabin in the Woods, where all of the things in the world, you know, the werewolf, it's a werewolf, or maybe the aquatic creature that might be in the game that we've mentioned in a previous video. Maybe all these things are under control by humans. So that's where my first thought went. And then I thought, would they necessarily want to replicate Cabin in the Woods? Maybe they'd want to put their own spin on it. So I've got this idea, and I'll try to explain it through now. So hopefully you'll understand what I'm getting to, mate. But you've seen Black, and it says Netflix in it and something else. If you click on Netflix, it then breaks the fourth wall with the person watching the movie, and the guy's like, wait, I'm in this thing called Netflix and all of my choices are being controlled by the player.
So, you're being controlled by someone on Netflix. What is Netflix? Is it a planet?
I don't know. Some sort.
You know, the rich playboys that you get in all these other movies like Ready or Not, or even Squid Game does it, where you've got like these rich people watching these other people die. So yeah, I thought that would be almost like a nice twist. And obviously, like, this could be the most far-fetched, over-the-top thought going, and that's why I'm almost not saying it as a theory. Like, it could literally be that it's werewolves and hillbillies, and like Supermassive just pats me on the back and goes, Jack, you know, you're thinking about this far too much, mate. But like, as like a twist, I thought that would be very different, and actually I would think it to be quite satisfying. So I know I've like dumped a lot of information to you there, mate, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones, right, where it's so early to tell, and there's all these different theories that are bouncing around that, you know, it's a really sort of nice, refreshing one that I haven't heard yet, actually, but it's a brilliant one, and if they did something like that, I'd really enjoy it, to be honest, because right now everyone's sort of saying, oh, we've got hillbillies, that's a given, probably werewolves. The last, Bonafide podcast talked about possibly like an aquatic creature on top. And then we have all these different sort of layers, and maybe the glitch in the Matrix, which they put in their Insta story, does have a deeper meaning. And I'd love for it to be like a Cabin in the Woods style ending. Maybe not a complete rip-off, but Cabin in the Woods is such a good idea because it almost covers the mistakes for every horror plot hole. You had these scientists, didn't you? And they would basically, like, you know, radiate this gas and stuff, which would make the 5 teens make the dumb decisions they do. Why they'd split off, why they'd drop weapons and stuff like that. So, to be honest, if they went down this route, I'd really enjoy that, to be honest. And obviously, if you're watching the comments, we'd very much like your opinion. How would you react to if this was the ending? So yeah, no, really good digging there, Jack.
Yeah, because I sort of, I don't know, I was just sat there and I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if not only they had that twist, but, you know, you see it so many times in horror movies. I'm pretty sure I've seen as well that, like, word quarry, it actually has like a dual meaning. It obviously got like a location of like a quarry, but then a quarry can also mean like a hunt as well. So it made me think of those classic horror movies where you've got rich people that just, you know, they get their kicks off seeing people get killed, get tortured, humiliated and stuff. And it would be an epic twist if, like, we were those people, like we as the player, we're the ones making the choices for these characters. We're the ones that are influencing the story. It could be just like a, you know, a what the fuck moment at the end. If we were almost positioned as like the villain of the game. So
like that. Also, don't the trailers say a lot of things such as it's hunting season? And Supermassive have been really good at sort of making you think when they say a phrase, they're going along one track. So for example, if we look at Dr. Hill saying things like, oh, this game that you're playing, and he's not talking about us, about us playing Until Dawn, but he's actually ends up, there's him talking to Josh, right, about this little twisted game he's got to prank his friends. Maybe it's the same thing. They're saying it's hunting season, and they're sort of making us think it's the hillbillies that are doing the hunting. But that's a really interesting theory. What if it's us that are the hunters or something? And like you say, we are the villains. I really like games that pull off those really bold moves like that. And yeah, to be honest, it'd be a really welcoming twist for me.
yeah, so like obviously I referred to Bandersnatch. Like, let's just sort of say that, you know, I am putting this down as like a marker, as a theory. I looked to see when Bandersnatch come out. It come out in 2018, and I was sort of thinking to myself, like, if they did, on the off chance, take inspiration by that particular section, you know, the whole breaking of the fourth wall and the Netflix thing, this game was probably in early development in 2018, so they could have maybe thought, oh, that's a good idea. Let's sort of throw that into our game and sort of merge the video game world with, you know, the real world with us as the player. So, yeah, like, even if this isn't part of the Quarry, I'd love for them to do this in a game in the future. So, Supermassive, if you're listening, you know, there's my pitch. So, yeah, we'll just have to see. But I thought it's worth putting out there. And obviously, if you think it's an interesting shout, give us some comments. Obviously, like the video as well. Yeah, that's honestly all from me, mate. So, have you got anything else to add?
Yeah, just to say that I guess there's a lot of different theories, you know, that people have. And I just wanted to get, you know, if you're going to comment, just to let us know how you reckon the game's going to end. Do you think it's going to just be a standard ending with hillbillies and werewolves, maybe? Do you think there's going to be a supernatural element to it? Yeah, do you think Jack's onto something? Do you reckon we're going to have a Cabin in the Woods ending? Or do you reckon you're a bus driver and you've hit your head? We'd love to know these things, to be honest. So yeah, links in the description, guys. We hope you're enjoying the content that we're releasing. And yeah, we'll come up with more Quarry vids in the future, more theories and stuff. So thank you very much for joining us, guys.
See you later.